CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Glad you are along. We got some really nice people here today for a change. We got some people that are going to talk to us about a jazz concert festival extravaganza coming up right now. Mr. Alexander Zonjic.
Pleasure.
Welcome back to the show.
Pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
Nice to
and
be here.
Your girlfriend in St. Clair, Pat O'Connor.
Oh, this is my manager, my agent,
Your agent,
my
your
impresario.
dance partner.
Oh no, we couldn't do this without her. You know, I think
That's
you know that.
absolutely correct.
Not even-
Well, without him, it's nothing. So it's a nice pair.
It really is a nice pair.
It is.
Nice pair.
But the whole city, though, really,
Yeah.
the support from the mayor and
Mr. Zonjic, nice
Yes,
to
sir.
see you again after
great
COVID.
after COVID. I know. Aren't
You were a stranger for a while. They wouldn't let you in.
But you know, we did wander in and did a smaller event just to keep it fresh and keep it, front and center. So it's not both years of COVID. I did come in and play a concert at least, but it was a difficult couple of years. We
the
lost
world.
a lot of friends, a lot of
Yeah.
musicians,
Yeah.
a lot of fans,
Yeah.
and it wasn't easy. But we're here and we're back.
Let's talk about 5 years of jazz festivals
Yeah.
in St. Clair, Michigan. Talk to
Yes.
me how it got started, what's
Yeah,
going to happen
yeah.
this year.
Well, big accomplishment, needless to say, and hats off to the city because it really does take unconditional support and this focus on what is a cultural event. This is not, look, we love carnivals, we love,
Yeah.
we love monster trucks,
Yeah.
we love all of that, but this is a cultural event with world-class music. So the idea that 5 years later, we're still here, we're still relevant, there's still an appetite for it,
Yeah.
along with all the other cool things that you guys do, this is probably the most diverse, brings in an audience from all over the state,
It really does.
from all over the country, artists from all over the world. I'm just thrilled. I think it's a real feather in the cap of certainly Pat, the mayor, the whole city, the sponsors, our great sponsors from the very beginning. And I have to say, I do a lot of these events, about 10 of them, some I own, some I run, and there is not a nicer group of people and a less complicated group of people that I've ever worked with. It's why this thing keeps running. In the very beginning, I got a cold call. Someone says that you want to do a jazz festival in St. Clair. I go, no, you misunderstood that. I'd be willing to be the artistic director if you guys would like to have an event. I made it very clear from the beginning, it's your event, And I remember I came in and met everybody and they were all, kind of looking at me sideways a little bit, because in all fairness, you have to earn people's respect.
That's true.
And their trust. They don't know me. They go, who's this Serbian flute player who came in here? And
Honest.
now, luckily, I did have some credentials. It's not like I came in and I wasn't already doing events. But right from the very beginning, the support was there. The fan base was there. Everyone in the early stages, this was the number one question. How many people are going to come in? I go, I don't know how many people are going to show up. And my standard line was always, more than 500, less than 10,000. I just didn't know. And I had my own little idea in the back of my mind that if I underhype it and then over deliver, that's how it grows.
Yeah.
And the very first year, and I know Pat can speak to this, I think we were all pleasantly surprised at having more than 2,000 people right out of the box. And how many of them came from Detroit, from Toledo, from Monroe. How many of them came and had never been to St. Clair. And I know, Pat, you talked about this. Most of the calls you got, I hear there's a festival in St. Clair Shores. No, it's St. Clair. And so I'm just thrilled that we're here, back after COVID. The fans can't wait. Another great lineup, and hats off to everybody here. It's a great achievement.
Let's talk about the lineup.
Yes.
Who you got? 5 acts coming?
Yeah, we're back to 5 acts. Basically, we run 1 till 9 at night.
Wow.
I do this a lot, so I can tell you it's 1 to 2, 2:30 to 3:30, 4 to 5:15, 5:45 to 7, 7:30 to 9. Can you tell I've done this before?
Yes. Can you just say that again? No.
I actually can. But no, real diverse lineup again. We kick off the day with a great story. Ex-NFL football player, Larry Lee, who loves music and is a great bass player. We had him here a few years ago. Everybody loved him. Old school R&B. It's Larry Lee and Back in the Day band. They're going to kick things off at 1 o'clock with some cool old school R&B. Great band called Daja. I've had them at other festivals. There's a lot of them. Jazzy, funky, really, really cool. Coming in from Denver, Colorado, one of the great saxophone players and flute players. This guy can play the flute, Nelson Rangel. I've been a fan of his for a million years. We've been friends for years. Nelson Rangel comes in to perform. I come in after Nelson. We'll probably get Nelson to come back and play with me because we love performing together. I've got my good friend James Lloyd from Pieces of a Dream, famous keyboard player. Pieces of a Dream, one of the great bands in America. 45 years they've been together. He's coming in. Brilliant violin player who the last 2 times I played here, I brought him. He kills everybody. His name is Evan Garr. Evan Garr tours the world with Stanley Clarke, Al Di Meola, all these famous people. He's coming in. We're bringing back a band that played a few years ago and has gotten profoundly bigger. And I'm happy to say they're Canadians because I'm Canadian.
All right.
From Toronto, but really a national act, 480 East. They're coming in to close the day. So funk, jazz, R&B, great variety, cool guys. Free, did I mention that?
No, you didn't. And that's a big word.
Deal.
That's a big word.
Well, free is great for a couple reasons. Number one, it's great because it's a great festival, and it's great for us because they can't ask for their money back. So, but in all fairness, can you imagine the initiative here that you can bring in a world-class jazz festival, a full day, people coming from everywhere. They bring coolers, they bring lawn chairs, there's food vendors. You got that beautiful park.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, Palmer Park, the Arch, the freighters floating behind the bands. There's no
duplicate it.
It does not surprise me that this thing works on the level that it does. If it wasn't for COVID, I'm telling you today, we'd already be 2 days.
Right.
And
That's our
we'd be
intent.
and that's where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And 5 years may seem like a long time and an accomplishment, but for me, I told everyone from day one, it takes 3 to 5 years just to get them up and started.
Yeah.
And then they start to work.
Yeah.
Jazz on the River, I'm going on my 25th anniversary, 25 years. Shoreline Jazz Festival, Muskegon, 8th year. List just goes on my other events. And so big things in store for St. Clair. Couldn't happen to a nicer town.
Pat, your involvement with Alexander, besides driving him around.
She's my chauffeur.
I was at the Chamber of Commerce when all of this started, and I got a phone call from the city, and they said, "Hey, do you want to be on a committee?" And I said,
Now you are one.
"Sure."
She is the committee.
But you know what? It kind of runs itself. First of all, because Alexander does all the hard work of gathering the acts and actually putting on the program, and behind the scenes, there's really. Bob and myself.
Well, but don't underestimate the porta-johns, the vendors.
That's right. Funny
yeah.
things that have to be done behind the scenes. And we've called on a lot of people periodically to volunteer and to help, and it's just really worked out. But when I call and ask, I called Ascension and said, can I get some money from you? And like, boom, it was like that. Community Foundation stepped right up. The St. Clair Chamber of Commerce stepped right up. Cargill, who's always there. And that allowed us to resurrect this festival because, as you know, after COVID, everything has changed.
Yeah.
And our goal would have been by now to be at least 2 days and to really be a big festival. And of course, we want to unite with the St. Clair Inn and the other local places that people can come and stay and really spend a weekend here.
Right.
Because as you know, there's plenty to do here.
That's absolutely correct.
So in between Jazz Festival, there's all kinds of other things to do, and we have lots of restaurants. This year, we've contacted local trucks that will be bringing in food. So we're going to have,
good idea.
as of right
Good
now,
idea.
5 to 7 food vendors that will be there. That makes it feel more festive as well.
Yeah.
But you know how beautiful the park is. And the crowds that come to this are, as the police chief always says, it's his favorite group to work with. They are they enjoy the day so much. And when they leave at the end of the day, the park is just it's just beautiful. It's like the very nicest people that you can assemble came to hear this music.
It's going to be 1 to 9 on the 20th of August, which is a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Perfect weather.
Absolutely.
Lots of freighters.
Absolutely. Got 'em, we hold them at the bridge.
I tell him
Until
every
the
year
show
that's
starts.
what I do. Yeah, I say so they can pass together.
One at a
This is
time.
the biggest show since the freighter almost ran into the Voyager.
That's right.
That's what I heard.
That's right. And that was a show in itself. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. But
I'm sorry.
Let me see. I got it back. When did I? No, I did lose that train of thought. So you two will have to take over. I'll
They
be
gotta
back in a
bring
minute.
lawn chairs.
I'll be back in a minute.
Bring
Rain or
lawn
shine.
chairs.
Yeah.
Lawn chairs, and if they're going to be sitting towards the back where there might be a little more sun, they might have small umbrellas back towards the back. But most of it, the area where people sit is very shaded and very nice, very comfortable.
I remembered what I was going to say. You started out and you were down by the Voyager. Where are you going to be?
We still are.
You still are. Okay.
Back there.
Yeah.
We're back
Back
there. That's where the park, if you look, Paul,
Wider?
that's where it's the widest.
Okay.
And even though a lot of people sit on the right and left side, as it gets later, they start to pack in the front.
Right.
In the beginning, they get the trees, they bring their coolers.
Yeah.
I mean, these are professional concert goers.
Yeah, they are.
and very diverse. I think the diversity is magical. And I'm telling you, you could walk through that crowd. You got people sharing food, sharing
Yeah.
everything. It really is quite magical. And along with all the other wins, St. Clair, I'm telling you, there are so many people that just never understood what a beautiful little area this is.
Yeah.
And
really
where it is and how easy it is to get to it. They would call me and they'd be in St. Clair Shores looking for us, and I'd say, get back on the expressway and go 30 more minutes and you'll find yourself in heaven. And a lot of the concert goers are people that have come every year, and now I recognize them, they recognize me, and have been coming back simply because this, as you know, because we've been here for so long, there is really no prettier place on the river. It's just we are so blessed to have this location and to have the diversity of all of the events that we have. When Alexander brought the Jazz Festival here, it was like that was the one thing we did not have.
You're right.
We
You're
have
right.
everything, I mean, literally throughout the summer, when you start with an art fair and a beer and wine event and then a car show, and at the end of the year,
Hey, don't
which
forget
you've
Elvis.
not been. Oh,
And
we do have Elvis.
You got to have an Elvis.
And we have music.
You don't have a community without
We have
an
music
Elvis.
4 days a week in town. So I
Oh
mean,
no, you guys have got it going on.
we
You
do,
got
we
it going
do.
on.
But at the end of the summer, after we still have Whistles on the Water. So I mean, we have it all.
Yeah.
And in October this year, we're having a literary walk that the library has started
good.
to fund.
Yeah, good.
So I mean, there's just so many things.
I'm tired just listening.
Well, I tell everybody it's like I'm on vacation all the time. I can go into town every single day and find something fun to do. But the Jazz Festival was the missing piece. It really was. And there's no other place around that has that.
Yeah.
So
Besides coming to the event, how can the public help you? Both of you. Do you
talk
need-
to your
do you need-
friends
Do you
and
need
social
volunteers?
media. No, we do not. We're all set. We really are.
It's amazing
all
how
set.
small that group is.
Yeah.
Usually it's a very tight, small group. We should
Yeah.
say, obviously Sharni is
Yeah,
so
he's the
valuable.
day of. He's really good.
Yeah.
And you know what, Paul? They just need to come,
Yeah. Okay.
and they need to when they see my Facebook post or the city's Facebook, they need to share it so that the word gets out, because that's really the key. Is
Yeah.
we know that for the benefit of this city. And to keep it as lively and active as it is, which I have to say I've never been prouder of the people who are participants in all these activities, that they kept it going through COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of places lost restaurants, lost businesses. We added
Yeah.
throughout COVID, and now we're back, and we really want to have all of these activities going on. And when you think we have a new theater going up
Yep.
in St. Clair, so by next
350
year,
seats.
This whole
what
region,
a
I'm telling
place.
you, I mean,
Hot.
I get drawn to them. When I love water. I mean, Jazz on the River is Elizabeth Park on the Detroit River. Shoreline Jazz Festival is Heritage Landing, Lake Michigan. I love water. I love the idea, but none of them have freighters going by in the middle of a performance.
And that's why
in some
the
cases, two
staging-
of them.
That Alexander was insistent that was the place to put the stage, and I have to agree with him. When that stage is up and the background is the river, and we get boats out there too who come by to listen,
Right.
that you could not paint a better picture.
Right.
That is
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
perfect location.
And
It
that's what
really
you're famous
is.
for. I mean, that's one of your freighters, whether you like it,
It
or not.
is.
So
It is.
yeah, great talent. It's so cool to watch this thing.
Well, we're happy to have both of you back. And the famous question: what's the difference between a flautist and a flutist? $10 an
You
hour.
remember this for $20 an hour. He remembers my one flute joke over there, you know. Hey, look, I love your new digs, by the way.
Yeah, they came out real nice.
Love your
Came
new
out real
studio, and I don't know, was that you when you were very young? in the
Yes,
back
that was
there?
me when I was just about 7 years old.
Still trying to pick up cash, I
Yeah,
guess. You
right,
got the pan out.
right. I had a little panning for gold.
Thanks for having us.
Good
seeing
We
you,
really
always.
enjoy it. Thank you.
Alexander, good to see you.
Appreciate it so much.
Always
a
nice to
pleasure
see
to see you. Back with our next guest in just a second.
The city of St. Clair proudly presents the 5th annual St. Clair Jazz Festival, 8 hours of world-class jazz at Palmer Park on the beautiful St. Clair River. And it's free. 480 East, Nelson Rangel, Daja, Larry Lee and the Back in the Day Band, and me, Alexander Zonjic, my special guest, James Lloyd from Pieces of a Dream, and violinist extraordinaire, Evan Garr. Saturday, August 20th, bring your lawn chairs, food vendors on site, rain or shine. Call 419-280-1073, 280-1073 for all the details. We'll see you there.
Well, welcome back. We've got Mr. Scott Crawford with us today, and he is from the Council on Aging. Welcome back
Paul,
to the
thanks
show.
for having me.
You've been on, I think, before.
I
haven't
have,
you?
yes, thank you.
And you've got a very important date coming up for you and for lots of people called August the 2nd, when there's going to be another millage. There's a bunch of millages on the ballot this time, so we decided to bring you in and just give us a little explanation of what your ballot issue is and tell why it's important to the community.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the Senior Services Millage is on the ballot August 2nd. It is a renewal, which is the important part.
Yeah.
So your taxes are not going to go up because of it. But it funds not just the Council on Aging, it funds 12 different agencies in St. Clair County. So it's administered by the Commission on Aging. They then dole the funds out to the agencies that apply for it. And the nice thing about St. Clair County is all the agencies work really well together. That doesn't happen in every community. But if there's something that a senior needs and it's not something we can provide, we refer to VNA, which is one of the funded agencies.
They're funded out of your millage.
Yep. So everyone gets, the Council on Aging does get the bulk of the funds because we do a lot of the services, but there are 12 agencies that benefit because of this
Okay.
millage. Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. And then the nice thing about the millage is we can provide services in St. Clair County that maybe don't happen in other counties. An example of that during the pandemic was home delivered meals.
Yep.
We were able to make the blanket statement that whether you would qualify for them or not, we will put you on our home delivered meal routes if you were afraid to go to the grocery store. You know, there's other counties that if you get out of the hospital and you need home delivered meals, you could wait as much as 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because they only have the federal and state funds to administer that. Because of the millage and the extra funds we have, within a week, we added 125 additional people to our routes. And that's the beauty of the millage.
On an average, because it probably goes up and down, on an average, how many meals do you do a week, a month, a year?
So right now we're doing a little over 800 a day.
800 meals a day.
Yep, so we cover the entire county. We even deliver meals out on Harson's Island.
Wow.
Yeah. Since the millage renewed the last time, the Council on Aging has provided about 1.2 million meals to homebound seniors. Yep.
1.2 million meals.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the meal is an important part of that program, but it's the contact that we have with those seniors that are homebound. Especially during the pandemic, those drivers were the only people that a lot of seniors saw on a regular basis.
Yeah, there's a lot of lonely people around the world, the county.
Yep.
And your outreach to them to bring them food is probably the only people they see in a day.
Right. And you know, you combine that with our community liaisons that do assessments of the seniors, find out what it is they need, home delivered meals, transportation, activities coming into the senior center. Those are starting to come back into the senior center, and that's so important because social isolation is a big determinant of health. If you're isolated and not engaging with other people, you're not going to age as well, unfortunately.
Wow, so we got Meals on Wheels. We've got facilities too. We got the one I'm familiar with is Washington Life Center,
Right.
and lots of great people there. Mary Patterson.
Peterson, yep.
Peterson.
Yep.
And she does great things with the seniors at Christmas time and Easter and everywhere else.
Right.
They have a lot of fun programs there, don't they?
And we do that at all 4 of our senior centers. So we have one
do
in the Washington Life Center, Marine City. We have Yale, KPAC, and then one in Port Huron as well. Educational programs, exercise programs are really coming back big time. I think people during the pandemic didn't get out as much as they should have.
Yeah.
And so time to work off those extra COVID pounds. So.
And again, the exercise is a social thing too.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be on a chair with somebody next to somebody else, or walking around a course with somebody else, and that's all part of keeping vibrant.
Right, right. And you know, another interesting fact about St. Clair County is we're aging faster than the rest of the state and the nation. More than
Really?
more than 1 in every 4 residents of St. Clair County is over the age of 60.
Wow.
So we're at 26%. The state's at 24.1%, and the national average is 22%. So either we're just living better lives, or it's a great place to grow
Let's
old.
say that. Let's say that we're living
Right,
better lives.
right.
We're taking better care of ourselves.
Or it's because we have such great services. It's a great place to retire.
I know here in the metropolitan area of St. Clair, there's lots of new assisted living facilities being built, and there was comment, well, why do we need them? I think you just answered it.
Yeah, we're going to be, as the baby boomers age, we're going to have to shift our focus of who we're building things for. Washington Life Center is a perfect example of that. It was built as an elementary school.
Yep.
It's now a senior center. It's
Yep.
those same people that it's serving.
I was around when that was going on, and there was a lot of hue and cry. Oh, well, you know, what are they going to do with that school? We're going to, you know, it shouldn't be a senior center. Now everybody just loves the facility.
Yeah. If you've not been there, I would encourage you to check it out. The Veterans Museum that they
Yes.
have there is amazing. All done by volunteers. Yeah.
So good people. All right. So coming up August the 2nd is the election. You can or the millage election. Lots of people now are voting absentee. So on the ballot itself, I think there's a Republican or a candidate or a Democrat list of candidates, and then on the other column there is the 4 or 5 millage issues.
Right.
So you should. That's where you would look for those.
Yep, the senior services millage. And again, it is just a renewal.
Okay.
So someone that has a home market value $200,000, it costs them about $80 a year.
$80 a year. Okay. Well, have we missed anything?
I don't think so, but I encourage you to check out the Council on Aging and any of the other agencies in the community if you need help. Looking for something fun to do, check out one of the senior centers.
Yeah.
Lots going on.
Yep. And there's no admission charge to go to the senior center.
No, that's the other beauty of the millage is our services are based on donation. So if you need home delivered meals, you need a ride on a bus, you donate what you can. If you can't, that's fine too. But because of the millage, it's just all donation.
So you don't have to pay for the meals.
Nope.
Wow.
Suggested donation, but that's it.
And is the meal is one a day, or does it?
Some people can get 2 meals a day, so they'll get 1 hot meal and 1 cold meal to go with it if they'd like.
Good. Well, you do great work, and we wish you luck on the 2nd of August.
Thank you very much.
If you have anything else coming up, I know we'll be in contact with the people at Washington Life for events that they got going on down
Definitely.
there here on the program. So, but if you've got anything else, please contact us again. So
We will do that. We appreciate the time.
not a problem. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.